Setting a firewall rule for Azure SQL Scale-Up is crucial for securing your database and controlling access to it. This guide will walk you through the process step by step. First, you need to understand the basics of Azure SQL and firewall rules. Azure SQL is a cloud-based database service that allows you to scale up or down as needed. Firewall rules are used to control access to your database by specifying which IP addresses are allowed to connect. To set a firewall rule for Azure SQL Scale-Up, start by logging into the Azure portal and navigating to your Azure SQL database. Click on the Firewalls and Virtual Networks option under the Security heading. This will take you to the Firewall Rules page where you can view and manage existing rules. To create a new rule, click on the Add Client IP button. This will add your current IP address to the list of allowed IP addresses. You can also add a rule for a specific IP address range by clicking on the Add Rule button and entering the start and end IP addresses. When creating a rule, you need to specify the rule name, start IP address, and end IP address. The start and end IP addresses must be in the same class, such as both being public or private IP addresses. You can also specify whether the rule applies to the Azure SQL database or the Azure SQL Server. Best practices for setting firewall rules include only allowing access to necessary IP addresses, regularly reviewing and updating your rules, and using the least privilege principle to limit access to sensitive data. It is also recommended to use Azure Active Directory authentication instead of SQL authentication for added security. In addition to setting firewall rules, you should also consider other security measures such as encrypting your data, using threat detection, and monitoring your database for suspicious activity. By following these best practices and setting up firewall rules, you can help protect your Azure SQL database from unauthorized access and ensure the security and integrity of your data. In conclusion, setting a firewall rule for Azure SQL Scale-Up is a straightforward process that can be done through the Azure portal. By understanding the basics of Azure SQL and firewall rules, and following best practices, you can help secure your database and protect your data from unauthorized access.